Hello, my name is Corey Schultz and I'm the Weasler Engineering Aftermarket Product Marketing Manager. Today I'm going to talk about basic PTO part identification using the Weasler Aftermarket Product Guide. We will take the mystery out of identifying what replacement PTO driveline part is needed, from tractor yoke to the implement yoke and everything in between. First off, some basic knowledge. Some of you probably know this, but I like to take a little time for the new guys. What is a PTO? Well, PTO stands for power takeoff. The PTO transmits power mechanically from the tractor to the implement. The PTO driveline provides the power to whatever piece of equipment you are running, such as a round baler, fertilizer spreader, postal digger, etc. There are 4 unique tractor PTO sizes in the industry. A 1 3/6 spline, which is referred to commonly as a 540 RPM. A 1 3/21 spline, which is referred to as a small 1000. 1 3/4 20 spline, which is referred to as a big or a large 1000. And a 1 15 spline. You'll most commonly see this in your smaller lawn and garden applications. What you see here is a basic layout of a PTO driveline from the tractor yoke to the implement yoke. Number 1, tractor yoke. Number 2, your cross and bearing kit. Number 3, shaft yoke. Number 4, shaft. Number 5, tube. Number 6, tube yoke. A cross and bearing kit again. Number 7, your implement yoke. Number 8, your safety shield. And number 9, your nylon bearing kits. As we look at identifying PTO drivelines, one of the identifiers we can use is what style of shaft and tube the PTO driveline utilizes. There are 3 different categories that would help us identify. A North American style, which would be your square, rectangle, round, or in some cases spline shafting. Your metric German style, which would be the lemon or star profile. And your metric Italian style, which would be the trilobe or bell shaped. Another tool Weasler has available is our TIS, or a transparency identification system. There are 2 sets of transparency available. One that covers the North American style PTO shaft, blue, and one that covers the metric style PTO shafts, yellow. The transparent cards contain line drawings of all the North American and domestic cross and bearing kits. The cross and bearing kit is another key component in PTO identification. The transparent cards can be placed directly over the cross and bearing kit until you find the correct size that matches up. The yoke ear hole can also be used to identify the size. Note that the TIS cards contain the actual measurements and cross and bearing kit part number that has been identified. A caliper or tape measure can also be used for identification. Page 9 of the Weasler Catalog is the starting go-to page that will help you narrow down the entire catalog to 3 or 4 pages that fit the identified cross and bearing kit. Page 9 is broken down into 3 different sections. The North American section, which can be identified by a square, rectangle, or round tube. The Italian section, which can be identified like a bell shape. And the German section, which is going to be your lemon or star profile. I will show you these 3 different sections. For this example, say we identified the shaft and tubing used in the PTO as domestic by its shape. We look at the top section of page 9, the North American series. Using the part number or measurement we obtained from the cross and bearing kit or yoke, we can either go to the bearing diameter column and match up cap diameter we identified, or we can also use the part number for the TIS card. Go to column C, bearing diameter. We measured 1/16. This tells us it's a 12 series, cross and bearing kit part number 200/1200, but most importantly, page 51, that's the page that all the products that will fit the identified bearing cap diameter. Page 51 identified at the top of the page, you will see 12 series called out. This is where you need to be based on the identification you made prior. Metric identification is done the same way, but you will need to measure not only the bearing cap diameter, but also the cap to cap length. Again, you can use the Weasler TIS system, or a measuring tool. Notice the bottom of page 9 covers the Italian and German series. The reason we need two measurements for the metric series is that different series of cross and bearing kits can have the same bearing cap diameter but different cap-to-cap lengths. Some cross and bearing kits can also be used in both Italian and German series. Here's where the tube configurations will help you out. You can see here that part number 28474 has a 27 millimeter cap diameter. Part number 200-8370, Series 3, also has a 27 millimeter cap diameter, but the cap-to-cap lengths are different, one being 70 millimeter and the other being 74.6 millimeter. This is where the second measurement or double check comes into play. This cross and bearing kit can be used in both the Italian and German series. Again, this is where the tube configuration, tri-lobe laminal star, will help you point to the Italian or German series. If Italian, we would turn to page 99. If German, we would turn to page 123. For the Italian 4 series, page 99, note that on the top of the series page is a line drawing of the yoke with the cross and bearing kit dimensional data. This is just another reference point you can use to make sure you're in the right place. Same applies for the German 2300 series. If you only remember one thing today, please make sure it is page 9. Page 9 is the key to making you comfortable with navigating the catalog, getting you where you need to be. Please stay tuned for more videos covering Weasler product. And again, page 9 is the key to navigating the entire catalog. Thank you, and remember, Weasler produces and supplies quality PTO products for the working farmer, because that's who we are and that's who we care about. Until next time,